Hello and welcome to my Christmas Blu-ray update, or my Christmas haul if you want to call it that, though all I'm showing are the Blu-rays, and I got the usual stuff most people get for Christmas, you know, socks, deodorant, some chocolates, things like that, and some other few cool little bits and pieces like this guy right here. But mainly, obviously, we're just here to talk about the Blu-rays. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things to show, although 2 of them are pretty substantial. So let's just dive right into the good stuff. I was really excited to get these 2, and you'll probably know what the second one is if you see the first one. We have the Indicator box set release of The Wonderful Worlds of Ray Harryhausen Volume 1. Now, I already have the box set they did for the Sinbad films, so this kind of goes along very nicely with that. I haven't opened it yet, and this contains It Came From Beneath the Sea, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and The 3 Worlds of Gulliver. Wonderful artwork, which I can't even see fully yet, but I've seen pictures of the full thing. And I will open it, I'm not going to keep it sealed or anything. You get a look at the pictures of the covers on the back, and limited to 6,000. And yeah, and there's a bunch of special features on here, as you can probably see a little bit of across this. And yeah, I mean, I really love old Ray Harryhausen movies. Haven't seen all of them, so this is going to be really exciting to get to some of the ones I haven't seen before, particularly these 3, which I haven't seen at all. So I mean, they're not really the most famous ones that I think of when I think of Harryhausen, so I'm really excited to watch these films eventually, and it's just such a nice, gorgeous presentation from Indicator. Really happy to get this one. But this one I'm probably more excited about, I think, and you can probably guess again what it is. It is The Wonderful Worlds of Ray Harryhausen Volume 2 from Indicator as well. And I love that this one has artwork from the first Men in the Moon. So you see the moon there, and there too. Is that a moon? Well, that'd be Earth, wouldn't it? Well, yeah, regardless. So the very spacey kind of cover of this one I really like. This includes Mysterious Island, Jason the Argonaut, which I'm very familiar with, and First Men in the Moon, which I love. I love this film. It's the only one I've seen, really, that I can give you a proper opinion of, so I guess I'll just talk about it very briefly. But First Men in the Moon has an amazing opening sequence where they go to the moon. I'm not sure what time the film is set in. It's in the 1900s at some point. I guess in the 50s, 60s, I'm not sure, but regardless, there's a mission to the moon, but they find that mankind has already been there in the 1890s, and it's like, what the like, it's such a, like, mind-blown kind of intro. And then we follow a group of people going up to the moon, and I just love the science of it, but I also loved the comedy, you know, and the grandeur of it, and the special effects and everything. I love First Men in the Moon, so I'm so happy to own it on Blu-ray. That's the one I'm really excited about. Jason and the Argonauts I already have in the premium collection, the HMV series, so I'll probably sell that, I suppose, because I'm sure that this one is either the same in terms of picture quality, or if not better, I'm not sure. I know some of these are sourced from 4K restorations, yes, from the original camera negatives. And Mysterious Island is a 2K restoration, again loaded with special features, limited to 6,000. I'm going to do some sort of like, oh, I can see, do you see my face there reflected in the okay. Just really like threw me. I saw like my face reflected in the Blu-ray. I'll probably do some kind of Harryhausen season or something like that, if not in video form, in private, I suppose. I'll probably power through all of these, check out the Sinbad films, which I still haven't done, and check out these, revisit First Men in the Moon. Really happy with those 2 box sets. They're just top quality. Indicator, a really great label. Speaking of great labels, we have an Arrow Academy release here. I got this from my nan. I am really excited about this one, but also how incredible the presentation is. It is The Apartment, which I've never seen, starring Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. 2 legendary actors who I've seen very little of, both respectively, in fact. So you've seen them in a few films here and there, but nothing, especially from the peak of their career. And I was mainly interested in this, like, now, not just because this newly came out, I think, this month from our Academy, but a friend of mine, Rob, from Cinematic Venom, he was bigging the film up to me on Facebook, and, you know, knowing him, and he's, I wouldn't say hard to please, but when he really likes something, it's probably notable. So he was really bigging this film up, and I thought, ooh, I want to give that a look. It's in the book, of course, 1,001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, so I have to watch it at some point. I looked to see what Blu-rays were available, and this was newly coming out, a brand new, I mean, there must be some sort of 4K restoration, that's what they all are these days. Boatloads of special features, audio commentaries, although by a historian, which I'm not really usually that interested in. Absolutely loaded to the gills. Billy Wilder, you know, what an amazing filmmaker. I've seen a handful of his movies and they've all been stellar. But this comes with like a hardback outer case. We've got a hardback book inside. Like, it's just a proper deluxe treatment. So I'm hoping I enjoy the film. I'm going to kind of hold this one off until a really special moment, I feel. I'd love to just watch it now. And apparently it takes place on New Year's Eve, or some of it does. So it'd be kind of appropriate to watch it tomorrow, because that would be New Year's Eve. But I'm probably going out, so yeah. The Apartment, really looking forward to checking that one out. And there was someone who commented on one of my videos recently, a new viewer, I think, and he said that for someone who seems to be such a big movie fan, you've missed so many classic films. And my response was, yeah, that's great, you know, if you feel that, because I love discovering classics I've never seen before. You know, I would if I could have the opportunity right now to just kind of click the reset button on having seen every film I've ever seen before, I'd do it. What an amazing experience it'd be to watch all those films again. It'd take a lot of time, and then we'll be able to watch more films. But you know, I love discovering films for the first time, so not having seen classics to me is a good thing. But yeah, this is pretty much entirely stuff I've never really seen. And that'll be the case for the next few Blu-ray updates. I got a few massive cinema titles for Christmas as well. This one is a Kiyoshi Kurosawa film, Creepy. I've seen only one Kiyoshi Kurosawa film before, that's Tokyo Sonata, also in the massive cinema range, and I really like that film, but this one seems more in the line of a horror film, which is something I think Kiyoshi Kurosawa has done more of in his career than the family drama he did with Tokyo Sonata. Don't know anything about this one. Has a new interview with Kurosawa, that's about it, and a booklet. It's a fairly recent film, 2016. This is one I definitely want to just stick on and just be surprised by and not look into the plot whatsoever. So, yeah, good stuff. Would have been nice for Asian cinema season. Then we have two films that are added to the pride of my collection, my silent film collection. The first one is by E.A. Dupont, starring Emil Jannings, who's just like one of the great actors of all time. And let's not kind of look into his personal life too much. We have Variety, or Variete, don't know how you pronounce it. It must be a German film, obviously. Yeah, and this, you know, it seems to be taking place in a circus, you know, dealing with trapeze artists, and this just makes me think of the Lost film, the great Lost film, The Four Devils, which, you know, is like, that's the holy grail to me. Like, that's the film that if they found a copy of that, I would explode with excitement, because that's a film I'm so obsessed with. I've read the entire script and everything, and tried to piece the film together, and yeah, so anyway, so it just reminds me of that. So I'm hoping that this is somewhere in the vein of Four Devils. Obviously it's going to be completely different, but you know, drama set around these kind of high wire circus act people. I'm assuming, again, I don't even want to read into it too much, but this is from 1925. And yeah, Emil Jannings is just an incredible actor, so I'm sure that is going to be a good. I wanted to get this. It was released in Europe. It's been out on Blu-ray in Europe before, but the score is apparently awful by the Tiger Lilies, which is apparently it's like really experimental or something, or avant-garde. So this one has 3 different scores. So I really was waiting for you know, a version without this score that everyone hated, but also this must be some sort of new 2015 high definition digital restoration by F.W. Murnau Stiftung, which they do a lot of you know, all the classic kind of German silent films deal with that, and I think even it might be just German ones, but there's a lot to go with Murnau and so on. Obviously F.W. Murnau Stiftung, but yeah. I'm sure it'll look great, and I'm looking forward to watching it, and maybe trying to work it into some kind of silent movie marathon. And then finally another silent film, Destiny, by Fritz Lang, one of the greatest filmmakers ever, surely. This is from 1921, and this basically continues to bridge the very continuous thread of Fritz Lang's silent career that massive cinema have amassed over the years. So now we have from 1921 to 1933 every film he made released in the massive cinema range, which is awesome. So we go from Destiny to Dr. Mabuse Der Spieler, Die Nibelungen, then it would be Metropolis, let me try to get my knowledge correct, Spies, Woman in the Moon, M, and The Testament of Dr. Mabuse. So there's a lot of Fritz Lang films released, and of course he worked into the 30s, 40s and 50s in Hollywood. But his German films and the silent films, I just like how it's kind of extending itself, and I hope they go further back, because Kino in America have now released The Spiders, I think, and there's another one of his two-part films that he did, I think, in the late 1910s, or maybe even 1920. So I would love for them to release those too, just continue the Fritz Lang collection. That'd be great. But I don't know anything about this other than it's supposed to do with death, I suppose. But again, I love to just dive into these without really knowing too much about them. This one has one score, it seems, performed by the Berlin Radio Symphony Orchestra, an audio commentary by critic Tim Lucas, and a 44-page booklet, and a new video essay by David Carnes. So, yeah. I don't read to it. Yeah, the persona I just read on the back, the personification of death. So it's going to be about death, and yeah, and it's one of the more substantial Fritz Lang silent films I haven't seen. So very much looking forward to this one in particular, I think. And then finally we have a Blu-ray that I was really excited about, and I have a lot to say about it. So I could feasibly just talk for like an hour about this if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, obviously. It is Twin Peaks, a limited event series, the Blu-ray, and this is the limited edition version, which there was a lot of controversy about it because it appeared on Amazon and various sites, and then it quickly disappeared and sold out, and then a new version replaced it, which people thought was just a more basic packaging version, but then it turned out to be a slipcover, which is kind of the same as this one, but a little bit different. And now this one is apparently hard to find, although you can get it in stores. Online it's difficult, I don't know. But it's really nice, gorgeous packaging, this nice hard outer box. We have Laura Palmer on the back there, and then on the front we have, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen Twin Peaks, but we have Cooper on the front there, and probably my favourite touch is this there, where we get Dougie Jones on the inside, and inside here we'd have the actual Blu-rays, but I already have them out. I didn't want to open and close this too many times because it has this very delicate kind of cross-hatching thing going on here, and mine doesn't completely match up. It doesn't completely push in on itself, but I kind of like that. Some people had them misaligned, some people had them damaged and stuff, so I'm glad that mine is in decent nick. But it goes nice with the complete mystery box set, which is kind of like a nice kind of elaborately designed hard outer box and stuff. But yeah, this Blu-ray, I've already watched about 6.5 hours of the special features on this already. The 5-hour impressions documentaries are some of my favorite making of documentaries ever, I think. And then not even making of documentaries, there's no like talking heads, there's no, okay, we sat down and we did this, and everyone was so great to work with. The impressions documentaries on the 8th disc are pure David Lynch on set directing Twin Peaks: The Return. That's it. There's these weird kind of interludes that the guy who made the documentaries has put into them, which I didn't like very much at all, to be honest, but they're so small that the majority of the footage is unlimited access. Well, not unlimited, there's still things you don't see that are quite important, but so much intimate access to David Lynch directing this series, and there's moments where he is overjoyed, there are moments where he is like emotional, like there's a bit where he's directing someone to be really emotional, and he's getting emotional behind the monitor, kind of like, come on, feel it from the depths of your fucking soul, man, come on, and he's like really getting into it, he's like acting along with the actors. There's moments where he gets pissed off, there's an amazing moment where he just loses his shit over this woman who's insinuating that the scene's going on a bit too long, and he's just like, he gives her this death stare and he just goes off on one. So it really shows you this, excuse me, this behind the scenes kind of all access pass kind of extended amounts of footage, and it's just incredible. It's awesome. I wish there was 50 hours of it. I could gladly watch that. But I've already watched this series twice now this year, so I'm in no rush to watch it again. But I'm very much enjoying the special features. There's a few more left to watch. And yeah, awesome stuff. Fantastic series, film, whatever you want to call it. And that's it for my Christmas Blu-rays. So let me know what you got for Christmas, if you had any Blu-rays, things like that. I guess I can show you these actually. Let's just throw in 5 more Blu-rays. I bought these with Christmas money, so why not? And again, let me know what you got for Christmas, or what you're planning to get with maybe Christmas money for Christmas, Blu-ray wise or movie wise, anything related to that I'd be interested in hearing about. So I went to town and spent a little bit of Christmas money, not a lot actually. I'm kind of proud of myself. There's a lot of stuff in HMV I could have easily grabbed, but I didn't. So yeah, so this one, Baby Driver, and this one has been plummeting. I think it's like £7 on Amazon now. and there's been some theories about why the price has plummeted on this one, but I was going to get the steelbook of this, but I just didn't get around to it really. And Edgar Wright, one of my favorite directors, and I love the bonus features on his movies. There's always a lot of in-depth stuff, and this one seems like there's quite a lot. Maybe not as much as his other films, but regardless, there's got to be some sort of audio commentary. It's hard to read because the extras are listed around a vinyl disc, and I'm kind of trying to figure them out. I'm sure there's at least one commentary on there. Deleted scenes, extended scenes. It says that Blu-ray exclusive, so there might even be a lot of extras that are on the DVD also. That's probably why there isn't a commentary listed on the back of this. But yeah, there's a lot of special features. But I love this slipcover. It's matte, and like all of the key elements of the poster are gloss. Very small detail, but it's really nice. There's only one of these left in HMV. The rest were just the bog standard case like that. So I was kind of glad to get it, and I like even the spine with the gun firing out the car there. So I'm happy to just have this one and not go for the steelbook, I guess. It's the movie and the special features I'm most interested in, and I love this film, one of my favorites of the year. So tune in to see where it fell on my top 20 of the year. But yeah, Baby Driver, great film. And then I randomly went into Poundland, and you know, usually there's nothing in there. It's just absolute shit. But I found these three really good films. One okay film, but like pretty much, you know, I think all 2016 films. Fairly, you know, recent movies for £1. I'm sure these must be at least, you know, £4 or £5 on Amazon, so it's quite a good steal. Some of them have digital codes, so I mean, I was just shocked to find them. It's like, okay, Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 1, film I've never heard of before. You know, like Z-list movies, like the absolute bottom of the barrel dreg. And then you have stuff like Tomorrowland. A World Beyond, I think, is the full European title, but Tomorrowland, I love this film. Didn't get a lot of good reviews. Did Brad Bird do this, or was it Andrew Stanton? Maybe I feel like it's one of the Pixar guys. Brad Bird, yeah. Wait, did Brad Bird do? He did The Iron Giant and The Incredibles, right? Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I just got a feeling there's a Pixar guy did this. So I love this film. So full of imagination. Yeah, I really am actually kind of quite excited to watch this again. But a Disney Blu-ray for £1, that's kind of crazy. And it has a bunch of special features, which is pretty good. So yeah, I'm really glad to add that to collection for £1. It wasn't something I'd rush out to buy at all, but for that price, definitely. Then we have Minions, which I enjoyed. I like the Despicable Me movies. Don't love them, but they're enjoyable enough, and this one was enjoyable enough. I thought there were some funny bits, not great overall, but you know, my favorite actor Michael Keaton is in this, so you know, that's kind of one to add to the Michael Keaton collection. Also, it has the digital code, so if I sell it, I'm sure I'll get this basically for nothing, so why not? Then we have another one with a digital code. I'll leave that one in for free. Jurassic World, which I really liked and everyone loved, and I thought, steady on, it's not that good. There's some bits that aren't too good in the film, but okay. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a fun nostalgia ride. Very competently made action film, I thought. The characters, not so much, but it was fun. And again, I'd pick it up for £1, and I did. So there we go. And then finally, this one I'm really I wish I'd gotten maybe a steelbook for this or something else, but I just jumped on it because it was £1, and it was one of my favourite films of 2016. Is it 2016? Just make sure. Let's have a look on the back if it says. I'm pretty sure it came out in 2015, maybe. Was it 2000? It must be then, I guess. But one of my favourite films of the year that it came out in, and it really surprised me, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I love the Mission Impossible films. First one's great. The second one I loved, but I've only seen it when it came out when I was like a teenager, so it probably won't hold up as much. The third one was utterly forgettable to me. I need to revisit it. All I remember is that Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. That's it. Ghost Protocol I thought was really good, but this I loved. I think this is one of the best action films in a very long time. There's just so many great scenes. I love the villain. Who's the guy? I think he's coming back for the next one too, which I'm really excited about. Sean Harris. He's so good as the villain in this, and I love how where they go with the ending of this film. There's so many memorable moments, like the plane scene at the beginning, the opera sequence is incredible, the underwater stuff. This is just what an action movie should be. and I loved everything about it. Fantastic film. Really glad to get it for £1. That's a steal. And there's a few special features there. I really need to get all the other films on Blu-ray, so I probably should just wait till I got like a box set or something. But for now, screw it. I'll grab that if it's cheap. And that's about it. So thank you for watching. As I said, leave your thoughts down below on the films that I've seen or what you got for Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.